first class, maiden class. So if you are here, give me a thumbs up. Let me see whether you are here. So currently I can see, if I can see, well, I can see one person waiting. The rest, I'm sure they are. So we will not wait for them. Those who will be joining later, the class will be recorded, as I said. So you can also get access to the class at any time. So let's start. We are starting right now. Late comments will join later, and then we will know what we have done. After all, they can still watch it. So we want to start today's class. Our topic for today's class is going to be on two major concerns, right? We want to know where economics started from. Where is it coming from? Where did you get economics? Where is it really coming from? It is not about the history of economics, right? It's about knowing where economics starts from. Where does it start from? Does it start from where you come to senior high school and then they give you a topic like you're having economics? Or does it start from when you finish school, you're at the bank, they say, what am I doing? That I said I'm an economist. Or when you are working, where does it actually start from? So one of the our focus today is going to be on where does economy start from, and then we are going to direct our next focus of knowing the difference between micro and macroeconomy. So basically that's what we are going to, today's class is going to be about. So I said if you are here, please give me a thumbs up. Let me see where you are here. That will make me know that you are here, you are participating, you are listening to what I am saying. Click on the hand that is like up for me to know that you are really listening to what I am saying. If you have any questions, you have the comment section to type it in. So when you type it, I will know and then I will respond to your question. Okay, so let's move straight to what our first topic for today is. We want to know where economy starts from, right? Where exactly does economy start from? Before, we are still having this network issue, so don't worry. When I go off and come on, it's okay. It's a network that is doing that. So you want to know some of the basic things or some of the terms we normally use in economics. So we will come across so many terms, but the basic ones we want to know. So when I'm mentioning them, you will know that they are not new because you understand them already. So one of the terms I want us to consider is goods, as in network. So if you see me going off and on, it's a network that is doing its own thing again. For instance, when I raise this, it's something I can touch, right? It's a book. So this is a good because it's tangible. You can touch it. You can touch your pen. You can touch my glasses. You can touch your handkerchief. You can touch your shoe, your dress, anything you can touch, right? We term it as goods in economics. So we give it a general term as good. Sometimes we refer it as a commodity, but let's limit it to goods. So goods are tangible things, more or less things we can touch. You can basically feel and touch. So when I start using terms like goods, that is what I mean by that. We also want to see the term services. Services, as in SERVICES, services. What do we mean by services? So services are the activities we do, right? You may not be able to touch the activities, but we see them. So they are more or less like a little opposite of the goods. Goods you can touch them, services you cannot touch them, but they are activities that we do. For instance, an activity like cleaning is an activity. You can call it a service. Teaching is an activity. What I'm doing right now is an activity I'm doing, so we call it a service. If you are practicing law, you are a lawyer, what you are doing, you are offering a service, right? If you go and buy a car, they are shouting. I don't know, may I know where some of you are watching from? Just put this in the comment section, let me know, so that when I'm doing the reference to this, when I'm referring to some examples, I could use familiar ones. So you see something like you go and buy a car, right? When you go and buy a car, the car is often a service, transport service. So if you are sick, you go to the hospital or the clinic, they are offering you services. You cannot touch the service, but you can actually feel that they are giving you particular service. That's what we mean by service. So we know what is good. Goods are tangible things that you can touch, right, and feel. So I use an example as a book. I can touch is a good. I use services as things that activities that we do. You cannot touch or feel that you cannot touch the activity, but you can feel that you are doing this. So if you are cleaning, you know that you are cleaning. if you are using transport, a transport service, you know that you are using a service, right? So that is a service. You also want to use, we normally also use terms like wants. Economics, you want to find out what are wants. Wants are things that you desire, you desire to have, right? You are craving to have, you desire to have, you wish you have them. Those things we term as wants. Those who are coming in late, don't worry, the class is going to be recorded there, so when I finish and you join in late because of your network problem, you can still watch from the beginning when you join. So don't worry and say that we have started before you. You can, after the class, you can still replay it. I'll leave it there, I will not delete it, so you can still watch it. So we define the good services. We want to see what are wants. I said wants are your desires, the things that you wish you have, right? Whether you have money or not, or to pay for them, you want them. So right now I can ask someone, maybe one of you, what do you want? Someone can say, I want a jet. If you want a jet, that is your want. Okay, I want a house. I want some assorted. I want some how do we call it? I want some books. I want some nice shoes. I saw a nice bag. I want it. Whatever you are desiring, we term it as wants. Whether you can afford it or not, you have the liberty to want it, to desire for it. So that's what we term as wants. And then we also have resources. We use terms like resources. So these are a few terms that we often use. So let's find out what we mean by resources. The resources are things that we use to satisfy those wants, to be able to acquire those wants that we need. So if, for instance, you want a bag, what do you need to be able to get that bag? If it's money that you need, the money becomes the resource, right, for acquiring that want. If, for instance, you need how do we call it, a service like education, you want to go to school, probably you don't want to come to free education, you want to come to a school like government school, and you want to go to your private school, you want that service. So I want to be in a private school. If you want to be in a private school, you need a resource, right? That resource probably could be money. So if it is money, it means that money becomes resource. For instance, if you need you tell yourself as a student that you need to learn and get A, you need a resource aside money. What else do you need? Probably you need time. That time can be termed as what? A resource. So we have so many forms of resource. Unfortunately, I made slides for me to show you some of the things, some of the images you could see, but unfortunately I had problem with my laptop, so we'll do it this way, no slides for today. Let's pray the next time I could be able to fix it, but for now let's do it this way. So we learn terms like goods, services, wants, and resource. Let's keep in mind that resources that we have are not enough. So I said, if you are here, please give me a thumbs up. Click on the thumbs up for me to know that you are here. I want to feel that you are participating in what we are, like you are listening. If not, you have a situation where people put their phones down and then they are somewhere, it means they are not listening. So if you are here and you are listening, just click on the thumbs up icon, and then it tells me that, oh, you are actively participating in the class. If you are also having a question, you have a comment section down there. Just type the question for me, and then I will answer any questions that you have. Okay, so we want to say that once we have resource, they are not lying down. For instance, let's take a resource like money. If you need to buy something, if you are in school, you need to buy some textbooks, some shoes, so many things that you want to buy. You need a resource, for instance, like money, which is what we commonly use to buy things. Sometimes you realize that it is not enough to be able to acquire the things that you want. So you are how do you call it, struggling to make sure you make a choice. If I'm making a choice, I have to decide whether I buy this or that, because the resource that you need is not enough. So once it's not enough, we can chip in a small term, which I'll chip in after talking about the resource. Let's take, for instance, you have 3 years to do in senior high school. If you are in Ghana, you have 3 years to do in senior high school if you are in Ghana, and then you realize that per your capacity as a student, you need 4 years, you need 5 years, but the time allocated for you to finish the entire syllabus that you have to write your final exam is 3 years. You take away your vacations and everything, maybe at the end you may be left with 2 years or 2.5 years. It means that you want to learn, you want to pass, but the resource you have, which is time, is not enough. So in this world we live in, it's like resources, as economists have identified, is not enough as compared to the wants we have. So right now, if I ask you to list wants, I want to know you are active. List any wants you have in the comment section. Let me see. Whatever you want, just type it there for me to see that, okay, I want this. I want to use that one to be able to be doing my examples. I don't want to be quoting my own examples coming from my side. So whatever that's your ones, just type it in the comment section down there. If you can't see where it is, down there you see a place like comment section. Just type, or chats, you write maybe example of your want is this, for me to see that you are participating. Okay, so you see that everything we want are so numerous. If I ask one person right now that, please, can you tell me things you want, it will be a lot. But when I say, okay, can you afford them, you say, I don't have enough resource to afford them, right? So someone said you can have the one who is using Kukua. She says that she wants phone. Okay, you want a personal phone so you can have the class for yourself. Okay, so if I ask her that, okay, go and buy the phone, you say, hey, madam, I don't have money to go and buy phone. I don't have enough to buy phone. It means the resource that she has is not enough as compared to the wants that she has. So we want to establish that in economics, though we have terms like resources, we have identified that resources are not enough. These terms we use are commonly used in economics, and the term we use for resources being not being enough is known as scarcity. Scarcity. It's so unfortunate I cannot use my laptop to project everything for you. So scarcity spells as SCARCITY, scarcity. So we use the term as scarcity to refer to resources that we have that are not enough, right? So because resources are not enough, that is the genesis of what we call economics. So let me use this example. If you are there is no sickness, yes, Kukua spelled the scarcity for us. Thank you very much. Yes. So if there are no, how do you call it, scarcity in the world, forget about economics. It's just like you can you imagine a world maybe without sickness? I'm not sure we need a doctor. Yes or no? You need a doctor. Once you have how do you call it, we don't have sickness, we don't need a hospital, because assuming the whole entire world there's nothing called sickness, so we don't need doctors. If for instance there's nothing how do you call it, people don't need to move from one place to the other, then we don't need anything called transport, anything called car, because you don't need one need to move from one place to the other. Everybody is stagnant on one place. If we don't have human beings on earth, it means obviously people don't need rooms or houses to sleep in, but there's no human beings. Who is going to sleep in the houses? Please forgive me for the background noise. I have one of my colleagues whose baby is the one crying, so let's pardon her. You know, mothers, we have to work at the same time. So we see that because we say the problem of economics, right, is scarcity. The genesis of economics is scarcity. That's where it begins from. The genesis of economics is scarcity. If you don't have scarcity, you don't have economics. If everything is in abundance, then why do we need economics? So everything of economics came in the first place because economists identify something called scarcity. The resources that we have in the world are not enough to be able to match with the how do we call this, the wants that we have, the things that we want to have. So for that reason we have something called economics. No scarcity, no economics. We have scarcity, we must have economics, right? Now you want to find out, so what exactly are we saying economics is? What is economics? I'm sure most of you who have an idea about what the definition of economics. So if you have any definition of economics, please type it down there. Type it for me to see any definition of economics that you know. Type it for me to read out for others to also hear that this is what you mean by economics. So the economics itself, as I said, began from what there's no scarcity, we don't have economics, right? So we want to find out that what is economics. So many people have defined economics, so many people, right? What economics is. So we have Alfred Marshall, we have Professor Lorne Robbins. We have so many of them that are defined economists. So if you know any of them that have defined economists, please type it down for me to see the people that you know, or any definition of economics you know. I want you to be participating in the class. I don't want you to be just watching. I want you to be participating. So far